Good day collectors, this is Scaling Drive Drycast back with another review, and this time we are going to review the Alfa Romeo GTV6 with a 3-liter engine, and this is part of the Retro Racers series, a popular series which had the likes of the Mercedes 300 SL, Mazda 787B, Audi Quattro, and Porsche 911 RS 2.7. So this is a popular series among collectors because of so many nice castings, mostly race cars, as the series name suggests, racers. So just to give you a brief about this Italian car maker's model, this is actually based on a sedan which was called the Alfetta sedan, Alfa Romeo Alfetta. This particular version, the GTV6, was specifically made for racing and rallying, basically for touring car championship. So they made 200 of these for the purpose of homologation. So they had to sell 200 of these cars so that they could race these in the rally. Okay, I'll tell more about the car as we go along. So let's look at the card art first before I rip off the blister. Okay, the card art looks decent, but I don't know, I like the car more. And there's no extra detail in the card art that the car doesn't have. It has the side view mirrors, everything is there basically. So the car is really a gem. So without further ado, let's uncard it. Okay, let me zoom in. Yeah. Okay, so what a beautiful casting, and the red color, red paint is really nice. It has got a nice depth to it. The last casting that I reviewed was the Supra, and that the red color showed like had an orangish tinge if viewed from the camera, not in when seen from the naked eye, but when viewed from the camera. This is really a beautiful little casting. One of my favorite castings of the year, I would say. And I am a fan of rally and racing cars. As you know, the last one that I like was the Ford Sierra Cosworth, another European rally touring car winning model. So let's get starting with the review. This has a nice fastback shape which came around, which became popular in later years. But this particular design from Giugiaro, the famous Italian car designer, was made way back in 1972. This car was there till 1987. This particular version is a rally version. I think it was sold in South Africa, this GTV6, but the sedan version was sold all over Europe, I believe. I need to make a special mention for the designer of this car. He's a British designer, and his name is Fraser Campbell. And I didn't know about this designer, and he's been designing cars since 2001. He left Hot Wheels for a while, and he came back as well, but he's been designing for a majority of the past 2 decades. And amongst his designs are the BMW 507, the Honda Civic Custom, Porsche 911 Carrera 2.7. As I said, this is part of the Retro Racer series, and the fantastic Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, the one of the best rally cars. Wow. And he dabbled with a lot of fantasy car designs as well at the start, And this is also one of his fantasy vehicle, I should say. It's a double decker bus. I don't collect fantasy vehicles, but this one really caught my eye with the, it has got a souped up look. So I'll review this also sometime. So getting back to our Alfa Romeo, Italian sports car, look just lovely. So this is a fastback coupe shape, and this set 2+2 seating in the civilian version, not in the rally version. Rally version has 2 seats and it has left-hand drive. Okay, that's interesting. So let's start the review from the side. I have to start with the wheels first because these are a new wheel design. It debuted in this particular casting only, and this is called the L4. This has chrome around it. It has a deep dish effect, if you can see from the side, 3D look, and it has 4 spokes also inside, and that's a really nice wheel. 3D effect, chrome spokes, everything going for it. So that's a really great design. Would love to see it in other castings as well. And the color, Italians, as I said earlier in my Lamborghini Sian review, which I think, if I remember correctly, the orange color was called Arancio Atlas. This one is Rosso Alfa. Rosso in Italian means red. Alpha means, you can say, first. Yeah, it's the first letter of the Greek alphabet actually. So Rosso Alpha is the color. So nice color. And let's get on to the sponsor logos. Here Alfa Romeo naming is there. Let me use a toothpick for better pointing. And there's a Brembo brakes logo, Momo steering wheel logo. Egypt is an Italian lubricants company, and this I'll come to later. This is number 6, racing and Hot Wheels graphics. This is featured in many of its castings. Hot Wheels flame logo, and this logo is of Alfa Romeo only. Basically this is a 4-leaf clover in green set inside a triangle. This is called the, I'll have to read it, quadrifolio logo of Alfa Romeo. Its main logo is this one, the one you would have seen in Alfa Romeo cars, nestled inside an inverted triangle. But this is another logo of Alfa Romeo, and this, as I said, is spelled FLC, and FLC stands for Fraser Lee Campbell, the designer of this particular casting. So that's an interesting detail. Okay, over with the logo there's some white stripe and black stripes. Okay, that's interesting. Rally livery, and this black piece is actually a plastic part. This is a ventilation piece. I don't know, maybe for the civilian version, if people were sitting there at the rear, ventilation for them. I don't know what the reason for it is, because the engine is at the front. So that is one thing. And marking for the door handle and the window, it was designed this way only this part of the glass rolled down, I believe, and this was fixed glass. So that's how Hot Wheels has represented it in the glass area. Nicely done. And it has twin metal mirrors. Hot Wheels hasn't skimmed on details on this casting except the rear tampos, which I'll come to later. So, and the mirrors were mounted on the, let me use the toothpick again, on the door itself, not in the corner over here. So they have replicated it nicely for a mainline casting. Very well done. And you can see the quarter glass over here as well. Another detail they haven't forgotten. Very, very nicely done, I should say. And there, here you can see a side indicator as well. Coming to the flared wheel arches, they have also been replicated nicely. Don't look out of place, and they have a nice flowing shape to it. Very nicely done. Beautiful. Okay, moving on to the front. Here they have nailed it again. So let's look at it from the top. Starting from here, there's some sunshade. This particular design I saw in another Hot Wheels, a 2023 release only. I can't exactly remember which one, but this is a nice detail. This has a nice texture to it, and I don't know how they did it in this glass piece, plastic piece which represents a windscreen, but very nicely done, and every little detail counts. And this is twin wipers as well. All details are there, and grill markings on the front cowl, and the hood is replicated very nicely. This huge scallop cum scoop. This is actually called a NACA, NACA air intake, which allows air to be fed in for the air intake or turbocharger without compromising on the aerodynamics. This piece of design is borrowed from aircraft design actually. I read about it. So quite a unique, you can see the curvature on it and so many surfaces, and this particular design as well very nicely. This hasn't been blackened out over here, but that is fine. It has got nice depth to it. The molding is new, so it has been done very nicely over here. Great details, I should say. Moving on to the absolute front, it has got marking for the headlights, quad headlamps, and this cross, I think these were tapes on the headlamps to prevent the glass from falling and puncturing the tires if they got shattered while the car was racing around. I believe that was the reason. And you can see the grill area has been blacked out, and there's tiny Alfa Romeo logo, but it's in color and you can make out. So that's a very nice detail that Hot Wheels could have well skimped out, but they ensured it. Maybe Alfa Romeo insisted that it need to have the logo in color and in this inverted triangle. Very nicely done. And this is a two-part bumper actually. This is the upper part which juts out, and this is black in color, which is part of the black interior, and the lower splitter is part of the base. Let's have a look at the base as well. This is a new kind of design. They make it plain in the middle so that all information can be mentioned neatly. This I like actually. And some details for the suspension. Okay, so yes, other side, we are looking at the front, sorry. And there's some grill detail over here as well, which acts as the air intake. This lower splitter, as I said, is gray color, part of the base. Okay, this I don't know why a number plate area is here. Since it's a rally car, it's not necessarily required, but there could be some reason I might be missing out on. So this side is the same as the other side. And in only thing extra here is the marking for the gas cap. Okay, very well done. They have, what I see, some paint chips in this casting. That's odd. I just took it out of the blister, but they are paint chips. I checked another review on YouTube, and he also mentioned that 2-3 castings he uncarded, it had paint chips. That's quite odd on this casting. I don't know. And this is the inside part, because Hot Wheels are packed like this, so you can't make out from this side. Oh, that's odd. It has a paint chip here and here. Oh, that's a little sad on such a beautiful casting. But anyways, let's continue with the review. Having a look at the interior. Okay, there's decent details for the seats. Okay, center console, steering wheel, we can see. Seats are nicely done. At the rear also there shouldn't be seats because it's a rally car, but I can see there are seats. So no roll cage is there, which is a bit odd, or maybe they try to replicate something and we can't make out. So rally cars usually have a roll cage. So let's move on to the back and let's start from below. It has got twin exhaust pipes on the left. Yeah, twin exhaust pipes on the left. No details at the rear, which I don't mind because they made it into a rally car, and fantastic sponsor logos it has, and I like rally cars. And on a red car, the tail lights are not, if they are, even if they are not there, I don't mind because you can assume these are the tail lights. Although the molding is nicely done for the lights, the number plate, and even a keyhole for the rear hatch. Oh, I see a paint chip over here as well. Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. Such a beautiful casting. Maybe this is a paint issue or I don't know what. So that's a bit odd. There's a cutout for the sunroof as well. So maybe if it comes out in a civilian version in the future, they might cut this piece out so the plastic of the window piece shows and this acts as a sunroof. They'll come out with it in a civilian version also, definitely, and I would love it because then they can have the front and rear tampos for the lights, and civilian version won't have anything on the sides, but they'll have to add this plastic piece, I think. So I don't know how they'll do it, but let's see. It should be interesting, and this particular casting would look fantastic as a super treasure hunt as well, actually. So yes, a fantastic casting. A few other details that I've noted down, and I'll just tell you. This was the first Italian petrol production car with a turbocharger. That's actually hard to believe, but Alfa Romeo has done some crazy things, crazy firsts as well, so it is quite possible. And another thing, this won the European Touring Car Championship an unprecedented 4 years in succession from 1982 to 85, and it also won the British Touring Car Championship. So this is not a slow poke. This had a 3-liter V6 engine pumping out over 200 brake horsepower, which was quite a lot for the 80s, I believe. And European sports car weren't as heavy as American muscle cars, so this had good, must be having some good power to weight ratio. So yes, a great casting, a super casting. I will give it, in fact, 9 out of 10, even more than the Ford Sierra Cosworth, which I liked so much for that for its fantastic rear spoiler, which is its hallmark. This is the best casting, I think, of the current year of whatever I have reviewed so far. So you never know, there might be an even better casting. Only the paint chips were a big letdown. If they are there in more castings, then this is not good from Hot Wheels. But fantastic work, they should keep continuing. So viewers, let me know how you like my review. Please share your views and comments, and let me know how I can make my reviews more interesting. I try to add interesting information so as to make the reviews more appealing to everyone. So please do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with another review soon. Cheers from Scaling Drive Diecast.